She's a Mona Lisa.
Hello, my name is Jade Rose. There are 6 types of food swaps that I really recommend. These are kind of substitutes to make your meals, healthier and help you to slim down, tone up, and just be in better shape overall. For me, the goal is for you to kind of really understand the reasoning behind each swap so that if there's other things that you eat regularly that you want to make a swap with, you'll understand how to swap certain things and what to substitute in your own life. So the first swap, and probably the most obvious one actually, is swapping white for brown. I love bread, I love brown bread, I love the different types of bread that you can get, seeded bread, all of that kind of stuff. When I see people eating white bread, it reminds me of like the 2000s. Even me, I don't eat white tortillas even anymore. I used to eat white tortillas and I switched them out to brown ones, so you can get brown, you can get the half and half ones as well. They're super yummy, and I just love tortillas because they're just easy to make, kind of more of a lunch or dinner, rather than if I have something with bread, I feel like it's a breakfast type thing. And obviously with the white bread, with the pastries, all of that kind of stuff, white flour, these are all simple carbs, and the way your body processes the simple carbs versus its brown kind of, version is going to be 2 different ways, and you're going to see the difference in your body. It's not just about calories, it's also what it's doing to your body. The insulin that the white bread or the white flour kind of spike in your body makes you hold on to more fat. It makes you more likely to hold on to more fat anyway. One carb I don't really love the brown version is rice. So I don't really usually swap brown rice. I've tried and I just don't really like it. There's something about it that it doesn't really hold the flavor as well as white rice. And I feel like for a food swap to be a good food swap, you have to kind of actually like it. Like, it needs to be either as good, better, or almost as good as the original. Or else, you're not gonna really eat it. And if you don't even eat it, then what's the point? In these kind of cases, I kind of just swap for something that is completely different, but just naturally healthy that you can kind of substitute in. So for me, instead of the white rice, I will do cauliflower. I don't always, every time, make the swap, right? So if I go to a Chinese restaurant, I'm not ordering cauliflower. But in my own house, when I'm making dishes that might go with rice, I then will make the cauliflower rice. You can make it by grating any cauliflower in the cheese grater, or you can just eat the cauliflower whole with your meal. So this is an example of switching a carb for a vegetable. Other versions of this would be swapping spaghetti for courgette spaghetti or zucchini spaghetti. Or let's say you don't like wholemeal or brown tortillas, you can do lettuce wraps or even cabbage wraps. Cabbage wraps are really good. So I tried HelloFresh this week and they gave me a really, really good swap for rice that I didn't even expect to even like, to be honest. HelloFresh contacted me, told me that they would send me some stuff and asked if they could sponsor a video, and yeah, so here we are. So this video is sponsored by HelloFresh. It's a company that sends you food straight to your house. So I got all the food sent to my house. So it's the ingredients and the recipes, and then I made the food myself. So it's like you don't have to meal prep, you don't have to order anything, you just choose exactly what you want and it comes to you. Rather than looking up the recipe and looking up this and that, it just comes. It just makes having home cooked meals just really, really easy. I had actually ordered all vegetarian meals because I just saw it was an option, and I thought it'd be good to get some meal ideas. Again, I'm happy I did it because I actually did find a good, swap. So it was lentils. So usually I absolutely hate lentils. Every single time I've had lentils, except for at Indian restaurants, I have absolutely hated the lentils. But in this meal, we made it. So I made it for my mum. I went over to her house and we just had a nice, little dinner together. It was absolutely fantastic. So, so good. It just goes to show, sometimes if you don't like something, maybe you're not seasoning it right, Anyway, so my mum had the meal as well. She was always talking about how vegetarian meals aren't real meals, but she absolutely loved it. So they give me a code if you want to try some new, meal ideas, if you want to, see if you can find some food swaps in there, or, try some, new types of foods. So the offer is 60% off your first box, and then you get 25% off the next couple boxes for 2 months. They have high protein meals, they have the vegetarian ones as well, they have low calorie versions. There were at least 8 different options. So actually a really great deal, and the code is just my name, so Jade Rose, or I will pop on a QR code on the screen and you can literally just use your phone and see the offer straight away on your phone. So this version of a swap is swapping from the simple carb to the more nutritious carb, but it's not necessarily going to the brown version, but like just, you know, a different type of nutritious carb. And lentils are one of those nutritious carbs. The next swap I do quite a bit is flour to oats. Not even quite a bit. Every time I use actually flour, I always use oats instead. So I pop them in the blender, mix them up and kind of, you know, make it into this floury texture, and then I use that. I literally haven't made like a non-oat pancake version of pancakes in a very long time because they just taste really good. Again, oats are a really nutritious carb. Other like versions of nutritious carbs are like sweet potato, beans, chickpeas, quinoa. Even normal potatoes are a nutritious carb versus, I don't know, spaghetti. The best thing I would say to do is look up complex carbs and have a look at what you could swap within your meals. See which ones you enjoy the most, and it's really gonna help you get in shape. It's really gonna help you to lose weight, feel better, look better, and just be healthier overall. You don't have to completely change your diet. You don't have to do a complete 180. You can still eat similar things, but just, you know, make little substitutes here and there. Speaking of spiking insulin, right? Carbs, yes, they do spike your insulin, but sugar especially. Now, obviously we can enjoy sugar and eat sugar, right? But it's like how much we're eating. So we really wanna kind of portion control how much sugar that we're eating. Again, just like the carbs, there are some that I still eat, you know, white rice I still eat when I go out. And it's the same with sugar. There are still, you know, some things I might eat that have sugar in it, chocolate now and again. But it's just that we wanna reduce how much we're eating. If we're eating it every day, all the time, it's not going to help you to get in shape or lose any weight. So my main sugar swap is probably when I do a banana for sugar. And that's when I'm kind of making things, cooking, you know, things like the pancakes, the oat pancakes, when you put in banana instead. Any kind of like baked goods, or you can just smash up a banana and put it in there for flavor. I also recommend like switching out, you know, sugars for fruits like strawberries. Strawberries are amazing, really low calorie and delicious, and you can eat so much of them and not have many calories. At the same time, it's natural sugars, you know, and natural sugars your body processes again completely differently than the other sugars. Refined sugars are things like white sugar, agave nectar, honey, even brown sugar. Just because it's brown, no. So yeah, if you're craving sweet things, definitely replace with some fruit. I really recommend making this fruit walnut salad. It has cucumbers, it has strawberries, blueberries, and some walnuts and spinach. If you make a big batch, you put it in your fridge, eat it whenever you have a sweet tooth. It just, number one, helps you with your sweet tooth and helps stop those cravings. But then number two, it also helps like kind of train your body and your mind to like more salad type meals as well. Especially if you're someone who really hates salad, I think putting fruit in your salad at first is the best way to kind of really get yourself into eating more of those types of things. It's better to crush the walnuts quite small so that you're not, I guess, eating every bite like a whole walnut, because obviously nuts are quite high in calories, because the calories will add up that way. Now, I used to love going to Starbucks and getting a chocolate frappuccino, usually like a little bit of coffee, so like a mocha type frappuccino. Now, I have not had a frappuccino in years literally, because there's just no point at all. So instead of a chocolate frappuccino, you can swap it for a protein shake. There are such good protein powders that make amazing protein shakes. And if you add a ton of ice in it, then it tastes exactly like a frappuccino. If you use like a nice nut milk, maybe hazelnut milk or almond nut milk, absolutely delicious. And the more ice you add, the thicker it's gonna be. The nut milk is gonna give it like that kind of Nutella kind of flavor, but at the same time, it has much less calories than a normal milk would. On top of that, you get the added benefit of having like more protein as well, which is gonna make you, what's gonna help you to build up more muscle. Even if you don't necessarily want like big muscles or anything like that, it's gonna keep your body nice and firm, toned, tight, while at the same time keeping you fuller for longer as well. So the protein shake is an example of switching from refined sugar to a sweetener. Another example of where you might want to switch to a sweetener is instead of putting, you know, sugar in your coffee, you use stevia. And stevia is a natural sweetener. A natural sweetener that is not a refined sugar like honey or agave nectar. I don't, however, recommend overdoing it on the sweeteners, especially certain types of artificial sweeteners. Sometimes they have a very, very distinct kind of sweet taste in your mouth. Not like it would with natural sugars, but just a very strong taste. And that taste can kind of urge you to go and eat more sweets. Yogurt instead of cream, mayonnaise, that type of thing. Most instances where I would use cream, I try and replace it with maybe a Greek yogurt because it has that kind of thick consistency. So like a frozen yogurt, I'll make my frozen yogurt, or, you know, I buy frozen yogurt from, you know, the frozen yogurt shops. They have like so many of them in London. It's much less calories, and yeah, it has more actual nutrients in it. The protein content as well is super high. So if you don't eat any meat and you don't like protein shakes, then Greek yogurt is going to be really great for you. I also use, instead of mayonnaise, I don't just use it by itself. I will actually make a tzatziki. So with cucumber, with some mint, parsley, a little bit of olive oil, I'll make the tzatziki, and then on like my toast or like as a dipping sauce, I'll have that. This is an example of switching from things that are really high in fat and low in nutrients, like mayonnaise, cream, to something that is lower in fat and higher nutrients like Greek yogurt. So those are my 6 ways of making food swaps. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any other examples of food swaps that you like to make, definitely let me know. Leave them in the comments so other people can see as well. Like, subscribe if you liked the video, and I will see you in the next one.